Hello and welcome to another insightful edition of Investment Acorns, our exclusive series featuring thought leadership from fund managers at WhiteOak Capital Asset Management Limited. Joining me today is Manuj Jain. He's Head of Product and Strategies at WhiteOak Capital AMC. Welcome, Manuj.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you here.
Same here.
So, Manuj, in your column in Wealth Insight, you shared some interesting perspective. The column was called Healthcare for a Hearty Portfolio. So, you wrote about healthcare as a long-term structural theme. Could you share more about why do you believe healthcare in India has such long-term potential?
So you see, every now and then you heard about lifestyle diseases, okay, lifestyle diseases, and then our population currently is younger as compared to many of the emerging market or developed market, but our population is also aging, and over the next 10 years, 20 years, our population will also age. So all these factors that the prevalence of lifestyle diseases, our population will eventually also age, and then healthcare penetration is increasing, awareness is increasing. All these factors make healthcare theme a structural theme in India. So let me define what is structural theme.
Right.
So see, we say that India can grow faster than the world average for at least 2-3 decades, and that's why we call it a Amrit Kal. Okay, so India, we strongly believe,
Because of the demographic dividend.
Yeah. So yes, we strongly believe India can grow faster than world average for at least next 2 to 3 decades. Within India, there will be few themes, we call them structural themes, which can grow even faster than GDP growth of India itself. Okay. And we call them structural theme, and healthcare, financials, okay, consumer discretionary, and then you have digital, etc. These are few structural themes which have the potential to grow faster than the GDP growth of India itself. So healthcare is one of the themes, and I gave you a few reasons why we believe over the next at least 10-15 years, healthcare can grow faster than the GDP growth of India.
Okay. Now, healthcare index showed resilience during the market downturns of 2008 and 2020. So what factors allow the healthcare to defend better during challenging times?
So there are few services or products which are discretionary in nature, and then there are few services or products which are absolutely necessary.
Right.
So you see, healthcare is one of the service which is absolutely necessary. So if you are ill or you need to be hospitalized, whether it is a downturn or not, you will any which ways take medicine and you will get hospitalized. So hence, because of the nature of the business itself, it is a necessity. So the impact of economic slowdown is very limited, and we have seen, let's say during 2008 or 2011 or 2020 very recently, that in all of this market crash, you can say, or in market falls, healthcare has given some kind of downside protection as compared to related to the broader market. So also, if you study the long period data that reflect in long period data also on a 3-year rolling return basis, if you compare healthcare index return versus, let's say, broader market return, Sensex or BSE 500, the correlation is about 0.3 only. So there are years which are very good for the economy. You see a lot of cyclical sectors doing very well. Then there are years which are full of uncertainty. You see relatively healthcare doing very well, and that makes healthcare industry very interesting. That as an investor, healthcare has a very good role in your portfolio because it can act as a diversifier, and over the long term, this sector has the potential to not only provide market participation in terms of return, but even potentially beat market, because as I said, it is a structural theme. It can grow faster than the nominal GDP growth of India.
Right. Now, within healthcare sector also, there are several subsectors. So do you believe, is there any particular subsector that you believe presents significant investment opportunity right now?
So see, you rightly mentioned healthcare is a heterogeneous business. So within pharma, there can be generic pharma, there can be diversified pharma, there will be branded generic pharma. Within hospitalization, you have multi-specialty hospital, you have asset light versus asset heavy hospital. Within pathology, you have radiology, pathology. Okay. Likewise, then there's CDMO, etc. So while healthcare or pharma, people say it very casually that okay, you are investing in pharma, but within pharma, two pharma companies are not exactly the same. Then there are pharma companies which are focusing on USA, they are focusing on export. Then there are pharma companies which are focusing on the rest of the world. some of them are generating bulk of their revenue from India itself. So first of all, healthcare is a heterogeneous sector. We believe that hospital and pathology are early stage in India. Not many hospitals and pathology currently are listed, and we believe over the time, maybe in next 10 years or so, many more hospitals and pathologies will get listed in India, and they we believe provide very good potential to generate a lot of return for the investors.
All right. So like you said, the sector presents huge opportunities to people, but are there any risks that investors should be careful about?
Yeah, so basically it is a theme. When you are investing in any thematic fund, forget about healthcare, it can be IT, it can be banking. So every theme or every sector has certain risk associated only to that particular sector. And yes, investors should be wary about the fact that any thematic fund as compared to a diversified fund will be more volatile. While it can make a reasonable return, if you are investing in a structural theme, it can make very reasonable return over the time. But on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis, it can be very volatile, and hence it is important that investors consult with their financial advisor. And if you are taking if you are investing in thematic funds, you should not go overboard in any of the theme, and you should be aware that there will be years when this theme will be volatile. Lastly, I'll just mention this thing, like we covered in that article itself, healthcare in particular. So you look at the composition of BSE 500. Healthcare sector's weight in BSE 500 is approximately 6-7%, which I believe is not very meaningful exposure. The only way you can increase your healthcare weight in your portfolio is by investing in some dedicated pharma healthcare fund. So it should be looked at from that perspective, and it can give you very good diversification benefit. As I mentioned, that it has a very low correlation with the broader market because it is a non-discretionary service. So yeah, this is how I see this.
Well, thank you, Manuj. That's all we have for you in this episode. Keep watching this space for more information.